What if Hitler had won World War II? Let's find out. The year is 1945. The Allied invasion of Germany has failed. Hitler has crushed the opposition at home and abroad. The guns have fallen silent. After a brutal 4 years of war, it's time to redraw the world map, our first order of business. A new world map. Gone is the Western democracies of Europe, France, Belgium. The Netherlands and the UK are all absorbed into the Greater German Reich. Only resistance hotbeds like Poland, Norway and Denmark remain unconquered. Further east, the USSR has fallen. Moscow is in ruins. Berlin is the capital of a vast German Slavic empire stretching from the Baltic to the Black Sea. Italy controls the Mediterranean and North Africa. Japan has defeated the USA and rules over Asia and Oceania. It's an Axis world. The democracies are finished. Dictators and totalitarian regimes rule the day. Daily life under an aggressive peace for those who survived the war. Daily life is hard. The victorious regime has crushed all opposition and dissent. Citizens live under constant surveillance. Any sign of disloyalty can get you sent to one of the regime's many prison camps. You may think that this sounds like Soviet Russia, but this is actually a perfect description of life under any of the victorious Axis powers. Whether in Berlin, Rome, or Tokyo, citizens will face harsh censorship, propaganda, and brainwashing. Indoctrination starts early with the regime taking control of schools and universities to mold young minds into loyal subjects. Teachers are expected to be regime loyalists, and the curriculum is rewritten to glorify the nation and its leaders. The arts and sciences suffer greatly. Artists and intellectuals are expected to support the regime and produce work that glorifies the state. Those who refuse are often persecuted. Music, literature, and even mathematics become tools of the regime. In this world, scientists are not free to explore the universe. Their work is directed by the state and used to further military power. The once proud democracies of the West are gone forever. A war on minorities. The peace is not only oppressive, it's also racist and anti-Semitic. Jews, Roma, and homosexuals are persecuted throughout the Axis powers. Many are sent to prison camps where they're forced to work until they die. Others are simply murdered. This is a dark time for humanity, and things could get even worse. Depending on how the regime handles its enemies, some minorities may be able to hide and live in fear. Others may fight back with weapons or by starting resistance movements. But in this world, the Axis powers are too strong. The war on minorities continues for years after the fighting ends. A new world order, only the USA and the USSR are left as major powers. But they are seriously weakened. The rest of the world is controlled by dictators. The democracies are finished. The United States is either isolated or under heavy pressure. The USSR is likely absorbed into the German sphere of influence. Other countries like China and India become Japanese puppets. With the democracies gone, there is no one to stop the Axis powers. The world is in their hands. The future looks dark. Science and technology, scientific and technological advances continue, but they are used primarily to build up military power. Under Hitler, Germany becomes a world leader in rocketry and space travel, but not for peaceful exploration. Rather, these advances are used to build bigger and better weapons. The space race looks very different as well. With the US out of the picture, it's the Soviets and Germans vying for supremacy. With the Nazis winning, we can assume they would have beaten the Soviets into space. What would they have done with that prestige? Who knows? But it probably wouldn't have been anything good. Culture. German, Italian, and Japanese culture become dominant, and other languages are suppressed. Monuments and statues are erected to the nation's leaders and war heroes. History books are rewritten to glorify the nation and its leaders. Works of art and literature that do not support the regime are destroyed. The world is a much darker place without the contributions of Jewish artists and scientists. Imagine a world without jazz, relativity, or the Manhattan Project. That's the world we're left with here. Economy. The economy is highly centralized and militarized. The state owns most of the major industries and uses them to build up its military. Innovation outside of the goals of the state are limited. Private enterprise is allowed to exist, but only to serve the needs of the military. Most people are employed directly or indirectly by the state. There is no unemployment, but few people are free to choose their occupations. The economy is geared towards serving the military and the nation's leaders. There is little room for individual initiative or creativity.